Hello and welcome to this video. We're going to talk about how to get you started with ethical hacking in 2020. So we're going to install something called Linux Kali on your virtual machine. Now in this video, I'm going to show you where you can get Linux Kali. I'm going to show you where you can get the virtual machine, and I'm going to show you how to install Linux Kali on the actual virtual machine. Now I'm going to put the links in the description below so you can go ahead and check them out afterwards. Please remember one thing, in IT things change a lot. So links might be active now, they might change at some point in time. So try and remember the buzzwords. For example, Linux Kali download, 3 words, type it in Google, you'll find it pretty easy. But I'm going to put the link description below anyway, so you can go ahead and use them. First of all, we need to go ahead and download Linux Kali. It's going to be done on kali.org, which is also the website I'm on right now. Now, since we're using a virtual machine, which it's a great effort to do this, because using a virtual machine, you will basically get all the benefits of running Linux Kali without really going through the long and tedious native installation process with all the weird questions no one want to answer anyway, okay? So go ahead and pick the one called virtual machines up here after you went to the web page I'm on. Now, we're using the one called VMware, but in the case you're thinking, yeah, you know, I'm using VirtualBox, and you're gonna pick VirtualBox. But in this particular video, I'm going to go ahead and use VMware. I already have it installed on my other screen here. So I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like when you have VMware Workstation Pro installed. It will look like this. And I have nothing here installed on it. I have no virtual machines. I can see the left side here. It's just my computer. So we have nothing. The good thing about downloading a virtual machine is that it's kind of just a click and open and it's kind of running. So let's go ahead and download it. Now, when you have it downloaded, and it's going to take a while because this file can be around 3 to 4 gigabytes large, it will take a while if you have a slow internet or not a fast internet. So come back to the video, pause it now, and then get ready. So I already downloaded it, and it comes as a zip file or a compressed file. Now what we will get is, I'm going to pull into the window, this folder here, and I already unzipped it or decompressed it. So you can see that I have this file right here. Inside that folder, you'll find a lot of different files. Now, what you're going to do in this particular case, I'm in Windows. If you're running something like, let's say, Mac, the virtual machine you're going to use is not called Workstation Pro, it's called Fusion. Now, this is a clear and normal confusion when you have Mac versus Windows users, because the Mac users would go ahead and say, oh, I'm going to use Workstation Pro. No, you're not. You're going to use something called Fusion. So basically, just go ahead and type VMware Fusion. I will also put a link in the description below to Fusion, so go ahead and download that. Of course, the interface is a little different because it's Mac, but the same steps apply. Now, what I would do in this particular case here is just to copy the path of where the root folder of everything is located. So go ahead and just copy the whole path, pull the window away, and go back to the VMware Workstation Pro. It says open a virtual machine right there. So go ahead and click open virtual machine. If you already have virtual machines installed, you can go ahead and say like new virtual machine, for example, but let's go ahead and use open virtual machine. Now it will ask for a path. Let's go ahead and put the path in, press enter, and you can only pick one file. Go ahead and pick that file right there. It should be named something VMX in the end. Click open. If everything works in particular case, it should be straightforward. You can go ahead and press power on this virtual machine right now, and Linux Kali will boot up on your machine. This is actually the only thing you need to do. You're basically done. But before we are done, and wait a bit, you need to watch the whole video. You will need to go ahead and configure your virtual machine a bit, because it will be pre-configured to only have 2 gigabytes RAM. 4 processors is probably enough. So go ahead and right click your virtual machine on the left side hand and pick the one called settings. Under settings here, you can see it says something like memory, and memory is set to 2 gigabytes of RAM. Now I have 32 gigabytes of RAM on my machine. I feel like giving it around 8-ish. So you can play around with the arrow right here and hit around 8. Doesn't matter if it says 8,780 or 8,201, doesn't really matter. So just put it around the 8 mark. If you have available free RAM enough in your machine, 8 is a good number for the virtual machine. Now, if you don't have this kind of RAM in your machine, and maybe only having 8 gigabytes of RAM, it's perfectly okay to give it like 4 or 2 gigabytes of RAM. That's enough, really. Also, so the processors is also really important. It says number of processors and number of cores per processor. I can pick up to 8 processors and I can pick up to 8 cores per processor. Now, I would say in normal circumstances, I would give it around 4 processors. So it says 8 now. And cores, I would give it 4. Now, this is a good configuration, but it also gives you a warning that this virtual machine may perform poorly or fail power on because the total number of processors core exceed the maximum supported value of 8. So in a particular case, you go ahead and pick 2 for the core processors. Now always read the warning messages, okay? Go ahead and press OK now, and we're actually done. Now let's go ahead and press the power on. If everything works now, just press OK to this part here. It just says you're running virtual machine and blah, blah, blah. Now, if everything works now, we should boot up into the virtual machine like this. Press inside of the blue screen and oh, you pressed inside of it and your mouse is gone. You can always press Control and Alt at the same time and your mouse will be released. It's a pro tip. No one really uses it in these days, but many don't know it. So, okay, so we're booting up now and the classic Linux Kali icon is coming. Now, if you want to, you can maximize this window here in the Virtual Machine Pro. You can also go ahead and use the full screen mode like this, depending on your screen resolution set in Linux Kali. Now, what I will do right now is to type in Kali as a username and Kali again for the password. Now you are essentially logged into the virtual machine, and you will see that it is not the best of resolution and the mouse is gone and so on. And there are different cases here we have to pay attention to, because if the mouse is gone, we need to do some configuration. You can see the mouse is actually inside of the window, and this is something to do with the driver, okay? So what we need to do is to go ahead and do a trick in order for us to fix this. So we're going to go through a few of the fixes. I'm going to pick the very first one. It's the one where we change the hardware compatibility. In this case, we're going to go ahead and just place the mouse there, and we can almost see it. And just click log out, and then you can see I can actually hit these buttons. So go ahead and pick shut down. Now, when the virtual machine is shut down, we'll go ahead and just press OK there, and we're going to go ahead and right click at the virtual machine in the right hand and click manage, and then click change hardware compatibility. Now, the thing here we need to do is to click next, and then we need to pick another option here. The option we need to choose can be a little different from people to people. Let's go ahead and pick the one called VMware Workstation 16. Click next again and say, let's see, also this virtual machine, I would say, and then finish, and it's gonna reconfigure and done. Now go ahead and try and boot it up again. Click OK one more time, and let's see what happens. Now, if this fails, there's another thing we could do, is to go ahead and create a file inside the Linux machine that will enable the mouse. This is a very common problem, and I do feel this is kind of not the most interesting solution of them all. It should work out of the box. Now we can see that the mouse looks visible now, and since it does this, and oops, I tapped the wrong password, it's Kali. And also, since we did this, we also got the full screen mode back because the hardware compatibility was set to a wrong version. Now, essentially, we could be done now. There is a different solution we can go ahead and do. And let's say we didn't see the mouse right now. And that's going to be particularly difficult. But then you have to go ahead and find a way to click this terminal window right there. And if you actually manage to do this and pressing Control+ to zoom in on it, we should go ahead and go into a specific file and a folder. So we had to go like in cd etc. Okay, so my keyboard is not even set up to my language. And depending on this, we will have to go back in here and pick somewhere it says settings. And this is the thing, all systems are different. So settings manager, that would be the one. And then pick the one that looks like something with keyboard. There we have it. Now, layout should be not English for me. I would like to add a specific layout, not system defaults, I'm in Denmark, so I would go ahead and type Danish, click OK. I would put it up there and close it then. Now I can go ahead and create my special characters. Let's see if I need to open a new window. Nope. Let's go back and type settings one more time. This is the case. We will do all the things together, right? Layout and see, oh, there's one there called, let's remove the one from English. And let's see if this actually helps a bit. And now I can create my special characters, so you need to remove the other language. This again is just small tweaks that many people don't really know about and just have to get used to it. Go ahead and enter the folder called etc and one called x11. Now, if this doesn't exist, type capitalized x11 and go ahead and type nano x.org.conf. And you need to have sudo in front of it because you're actually writing a file into a protected area. And go ahead and type Kali as the password because you're using the use of Kali. In this particular case here, we're going to go ahead and copy paste this text inside the folder, which is this one right here. Go ahead then and pause the video, look at the text, type it yourself, and press Ctrl O, enter Ctrl X, and exit it all. Then restart, and if it doesn't work, well then of course there could be other solutions. Now the thing I'm going to do right now is just to go back into the XOR file, because I already have a working solution. I'm just going to cut it all out, save it again, go back, exit the window and say like, we installed Linux Kali now. We're ready to begin ethical hacking. Now, just for this video's sake, I'm going to continue the video a bit more and talk about a few useful things, commands, and folders to introduce Linux Kali for you. So, first of all, I think what is most important is to recognize up here in the top, there's a small internet icon. It says wired connection. Now, don't be fooled by this because I'm actually not connected to wire right now. I'm using Wi-Fi on my main computer that I'm also recording this video on, okay? So, because the virtual machine is a part of my machine, it thinks it's connected to wire because my computer is essentially a wire connection to this one. Really what we are, sharing the internet connection on my computer. Now, what we can go ahead and do now is check out if there's actually internet on this computer. Go ahead and open the browser Firefox, enter the most popular site called example.com, and you can see that it actually works. So, we do have internet on the computer. Sometimes there's no internet on the virtual machine, and you need to debug this in a proper way. Now, I would not have any chance to debug this right now because it does work for me. You can even see the small network icon at the top. It's a chart showing this is the traffic that went through. Okay, so if you click the small dragon icon at the top, which is going to be essentially the start button, Linux Kali, you can see different kind of tools. There are something called reconnaissance, resource development, initial access, execution, persistent, privilege escalation, defense evasion, credential access, discovery, lateral movement, collection, command and control, exfiltration, impact, forensics, and service and other tools. These are all a collection of tools you'll find in Linux Kali that is pre-built for you to begin your ethical hacking journey. Now, many of the tools you will use is actually found in the terminal right here. In most occasions, you're going to use tools like Nmap, for example, this tool, which is a tool that will essentially scan the network for open ports, and you can also scan for vulnerabilities and find different kind of other things in the network that is vulnerable or susceptible for an attack. Now, Nmap is just a lot more than a network scanner tool, but yeah, you know, people use it for mostly one thing. There are also other tools like SQLmap, for example, which is an automatic SQL injection exploiter tool. It's really nice. It works for a lot of things, so I would definitely suggest you go ahead and check it out. Also, other public cracking tools like John the Ripper or crack John the Ripper, of course, I would like to talk about this. It's very popular. You can go ahead and press enter. You press enter, you can see it installed, and it says John the Ripper in the version. Now, what many people usually forget to do is to go ahead and update the repository. You can go ahead and type sudo apt update, for example, like this, and then press OK, and then it's actually going to update your repository. And when you're done with this, also go ahead and upgrade it. So basically, it's going to take a while. I'm just going to stop it right now because I'm not going to wait for all this time. And depending on your internet speed, this can take some time. Also go ahead and sudo apt upgrade. And then it'll be like, okay, I will then install, remove, whatever, different kind of things. Because sometimes you need to install a new package on your computer or something like that. And you need to have the actual repository access to do this. So this is why I need to do the apt update. Many older users also use the apt get, and then it's the same again, update or upgrade, right? And that is also possible, but I usually tend to use apt now because it's the best package manager I would like to use. Now, when you are in Linux Kali, you will have this window open right here, right? This is kind of your tool window. You can always open new session by pressing Control New Tab or Control Shift T, and then just basically zoom in. What you can do is you can actually rename these tabs here and change the colors. You say, I have one red color here and another color there for, let's say, yellow. And I want to rename this to like my, let's call it exploration. And I want this to be called my exploit, right? So then you can actually have different tabs you can open, and don't press the small plus icon because that will shut it down. And you have only one tab left, all your beautiful colors will go away. Now, there are other ways you can customize your terminal window. I never use one of those fancy terminal windows in something called Terminator. It's also a movie, but Terminator is basically a way to split the windows in different ways. So you can create a new tab, for example, and you can have it inside the other one here in a certain way. And yeah, it's a thing you have to like or not, you know. I'm not really a fan of it. I like splitting my windows in tabs, but that's a, you know, total up to you what you like to do. So go ahead and research about terminal. It's called Terminator. I think that's how it's spelled it. Also same the movie, funny enough, right? So these are kind of the introduction right now to Linux Kali. And basically, you know, one nifty tool right here, also called the text editor. Go ahead and use it, take notes, and so on. So now the next step would probably go ahead and visit like TryHackMe.com or visit like HackTheBox, for example, HackTheBox, or visit other site that actually offers, you know, some free penetration testing to begin your ethical hacker journey. So I think for this video, you know, I kind of showed you how to fix the mouse, install the virtual machine on VMware, Workstation Pro, and also talked about, you know, different kind of tools and so on. So really hope you liked the video. Hope you're going to get started in your journey to learn about ethical hacking. And if so, have any questions, you know, just ask them in the comment area below and I will do my best to respond. So up until now, I'm just going to say, have a really nice day and see you again online.